Smith and Dean Regan. Everything I've let go of has had claws in it. The art of letting go. That's a quote by David Wallace, I believe his name was, everything I have ever let go of has had claw marks in it. Today, we're talking about the grace of letting go and letting God. That's what we're here to do in New Thought Tuesday. So welcome, 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 social media.
Hi.
Hey,
Hey, hey, hey, Dean. So yeah, letting go. I got some stories to tell about letting go too. Big claws that have been clawing at me for years and years and years. And isn't that what we're going to talk about too? Letting go of the past so that you can open up to a new future.
yes,
Past thoughts, past experiences,
yes,
past lives,
yes.
past lives.
Yes.
Let it all go.
Let it all
Yeah.
go. How are you doing today, Rich?
I'm doing great.
How you
Thanks.
doing?
Awesome.
Good, good, good,
Awesome.
good, 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 good. I am ready to let go of a journey that I'm on right now that has a lot of apparent highs and lows. And it's like I'm trying to catch up. And so what I've done in just the hour before this time together is really determine spiritually to let go of my attachment to the type of flow even that I want in my life.
Yeah.
But let's talk about that idea of letting go. Why is this? Well, what is it first off, and why is it important? What is it? So we're going to talk about that holding on to the past thing. When you're holding on to the past, like Rich was just talking about, it can kind of hinder your personal growth and
Yeah.
it can block what you want to manifest. So what you're holding on to as tight as you can, loving it or not loving it, it can be blocking your manifestation. And we're going to talk about today letting go of those beliefs and the self-doubt, blame, shame, and regret, the big three we always talk about letting go of. Um, those are things also that sometimes we can hold on to: blame, shame, and regret, holding on to them, letting go of them allows the blockage to unblock. And then we're going to be talking about that idea of releasing resistance so that we
Yep.
can align with the flow. So I want a certain kind, I want ease and flow in my life. Namaste. And when there's not so much ease and flow in my life, I have this attachment toward, no, it's got to be this kind of ease and flow. So that's what I was talking about, just kind of letting go of. Letting go of. So that's what we're all about. Before we enter in, we're going to just into our new thought, the inner circle today. We're talking on social media just to say hi to friends all over the world and asking them to just let go of that which does not serve you.
Yeah. And New Thought Tuesdays, and I like to talk about the spiritual aspects of things. And
Absolutely.
the spiritual aspect of letting go for me is by letting go of things that aren't serving you. It's because the reason they're not serving you is they're not coming from the divine, from infinite intelligence. They're coming, maybe you created this job or this career or this relationship or whatever out of ego mind.
Mhm.
Okay, you weren't listening to your inner spirit. And so therefore you're living this, these things that have their claws into you. If they're not making you feel joy, happiness, beauty, harmony in your life, peace, if you're not feeling those things around whatever it is you believe you need to let go of, it's because you're not letting go and opening up to the divine to bring something more in harmony. A bad relationship, move on. An abusive relationship, move on, open up for a new relationship, for divine expression of your job, of your relationship, of your career, of your of everything, of your life. So to me, that's what I'd like to explore today. And I got some stories about my own life, letting go and opening up to spirit, and you do too, Dean. So let's talk about those. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm all for it. I love this. I always feel even better after we're done with New Thought Tuesday. But yeah, well, okay. So um, there's something called the Pareto principle, which is not New Thought, Ancient Wisdom, but it speaks that 20% of your best results, 80% of your best results come from 20% of what you're actually doing,
Yeah.
and encourages you to let go of that 80% that really just is not moving you forward to your goal. Now, this is a psychological term, but the idea in spirit, just recently with a number of things that have been going down in my career and in my household, I've made a choice to really cut out a number of things that were taking a great deal of time that I loved, and sometimes even activities with people that are good people that I really enjoy. So there was joy there, but there was a desire to release that which is not really serving me, so I could focus on that which I have a divine desire to really honor. And that honor has to do with the caring of my family. And so over the last several weeks, last 3.5 weeks, actually, to be specifically, I have let go of activities that I hold dear in order to be able to focus on the caring of for my family. And it has provided such relief.
Mhm.
And relief, for those of you who are familiar with the Abraham Hicks philosophy, um, relief is a really good place to be. That sense of, ah, something's been on my back, it's off, and there's more possibility, more potentiality expressing itself. And so, as I did that over these last 3.5 weeks, I really have really, ah, I've been able to relax more. I've been able to focus on that which is important. And I've been able to trust that I'm on a spiritual path that is my rightful place and my rightful path.
Yeah.
And that has been uplifting and enervating for me, um, spiritually.
Amen. You know,
Yeah.
Abraham Hicks, if talking about Abraham Hicks, talks about it as if it's holding a ball above the water, underwater, and it keeps wanting to rise up. And you're putting so much effort and energy into holding that ball down, and you just have to release it. And I think that's what we'll talk about today, releasing. Um, something else you just said that made me think of it was, and I was thinking of something, but now I forgot what that thing was that I was thinking of. So why don't we just continue on? You got anything else to add to your story, Dean?
Well, it's the idea of that first quote that I talked about. David Foster Wallace is his name. He's a novelist. He's noted for saying everything I've ever let go of has claw marks in it. And a mentor of mine had used that many times from the pulpit. And the idea of, it's like, there's comfort here. I want to keep this. It's familiar. I want to keep this. I need to, whenever you start having that feeling tone of whatever level of desperation, or not divine desire, but need, that's when you want to take a look at it and say, is this actually moving me forward on my spiritual path? Or can I let go of this and trust? And that whole thing about trust, moving out of that victim consciousness into forgiveness and trust. It's a spiritual path that I keep going down. I mean, it's
Yeah,
I go deeper and deeper. I come up for air, sometimes go deeper and deeper. It's the ability to really trust that I am always in my rightful place,
exactly.
on the divine right path.
Yeah.
And that what appears to be something I need, that's when, as you were saying, that whole egoic principle is just, is this just my ego, or is this really an essential part of my spiritual beingness?
Sometimes too, though, Dean, it goes beyond ego, it goes beyond, well, what is necessary? Like what I'm going through right now just what you just said reminded me again of what I was going to talk about is, do I hold on to this thing that's no longer serving me, or do I let go? And for me, it's been since COVID, and the entertainment industry just fell apart and stuff. I started doing, I was doing legal work. And then all of a sudden, everything started shifting, and I've lost a lot of clients. There's so many videographers out there doing this. And it was my bread and butter, basically, while I was in between shooting movies and stuff. And so, I'm down to like 6 hours a week. We talked about this. I'm going, this isn't enough.
Yeah.
Now I can have choices here. I can go ahead and look for new clients to get more money doing that. I don't really want to do that. And my calling, my spiritual calling, is to coach individuals in the entertainment business, to teach spiritual principles for success to creatives in the entertainment business. And so I was at an impasse. And for the longest time, I've been holding on to this, putting time and energy into trying to get more work and all of that stuff, doing what I didn't really want to be doing. So it's not only the ego thing, but sometimes necessity says, it keeps you locked in, like with the claws on you saying, you got to do this job. You got to stay at this company you don't like. You've got to do this. I went to law school. So, you can say to yourself, I went to law school and spent all this time. Now I got to stick with it, even though I hate being a lawyer. And I get that all the time. And it's like, so what do? You go within and you ask for guidance, and the infinite filmmaker, God, the infinite filmmaker, using my metaphor of life being a movie, always has your back. And if you let go, you got to have faith and trust that something bigger and better is opening up for you. And I had to do that. I had to let go. So, so I was working with my hypnotherapist, and a lot of my coaching and stuff, I've been giving stuff away for free and not really charging my worth. And she was saying, Richard, this is what you do is a God-given gift. You're able to do using these and meditations and affirmative prayer, and all these people that I'm working with that are friends and family that I've been working with, that are having huge successes using the teachings that I've been teaching. And so she said, there's value in that. And you're cheating the divine within you that wants to express itself as you, in you, and through you, doing this work. So by not doing it and focusing on getting more work, doing the job you're not really called by spirit to do, because of necessity, on the other hand, there's the divine calling there, and you got to trust. And so I did. I stopped. I started putting price tags on all my courses and books and stuff like that. I'm not giving anything away anymore because, it's the way she explained it was, it's by putting value on it, I'm valuing myself. When I value myself, I'm valuing the divine within me, the genie within, the God within, the divine expression within me. And so, that's another way of just, letting go of something that you may believe is a necessity. I don't know if there's anybody out there. I'm sure in the entertainment business, people that I work with, there's a lot of things that they're doing. I got to wait tables. I've got to do this. I got to do the B job. And yeah, you may have to do it. However, there isn't other possibilities there if you open your mind to it. If you're sitting there saying, I got to wait tables while I'm doing this. No, there's infinite possibilities. You can get a job for a studio. You can get a job for a casting director, an assistant. There's so many opportunities that you can have if you open and allow that door to be opened from, your highest good. Okay, I can go on and on. I'm just going to end it there. What do you think, Dean?
And going on and on about this stuff is that feeling tone of excitement. You can go on and on about your own stuff from a place of excitement, possibility, potentiality, eagerness. If you're going on and on about your own stuff I was just working with a colleague who's had a physical condition, and it's like, I inquired about that. Oh no, that's fine, that's done. But now this is the problem. Like, well, let's focus on gratitude for that which resolved itself, that physical condition resolved itself instead of just moving on to the next problem.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need this, and okay, I got it. Let's move it on. Okay, let it go, but let's get to something else. Okay, let's go get to something else. And it's this feeling that you get. I mean, I, I've done stuff in my career that hasn't really floated my boat all that much, but I tried to do it. I mean, I remember in the 80s when I was waiting tables. I was perhaps one of the least talented table waiters in the world. Um, but it was one of those things that I really enjoyed. I met people that I still know of till to today. I've had that golden handcuff corporate job. It's like, well, there's an awful lot of money going on here. Can I let this go? Can I let this go? Yeah.
As a
And
public figure.
and I did. And I
Yeah.
moved on to that next place with optimism and excitement. And I moved through that next place because the choice that I made was a misstep for me. But I learned a whole lot and I was dedicated to it. And to a point that the job that I moved on to, I had my claws in it because I wanted to show up for the people in 100% way that I had promised and really do a good job for this company. And in retrospect, learned a lot of things, but I could have let that go without the clause a good 12 to 16 months before I did.
Yeah. And when you do let go, all of a sudden, like for me, letting go of this idea that I need to get on this road of doing legal work, I feel joy. And when you're feeling joy, then you're opened up to more joy coming into your life, more excitement, more new things. I feel like I let that ball rise up out of the water and I'm at peace. And it all comes from my understanding of my connection with the divine. I know that all of my needs are met. I know that I'm working with an unlimited power and presence. It's not withholding anything from me. I know that my thoughts become things, that there's power in the way you think and the way you act upon things. Act as if you have, so you may receive. What Reverend Michael used to say. Act as if you have, so you may receive. I'm trusting, I'm acting, even though the bills are coming in and there's no work coming in that way. I'm trusting. And I know that form follows mind. Form is mind in action. And that I cleared my mind of that disbelief of that I need to do this. And I opened up to what am I being called to do? And I'm very excited. And I want to share with you guys in the next week or so what's going to open up for me now that I did decide to let go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think as you're expressing this, Rich, because we've both been in situations we've shared with one another and the folks on New Thought Tuesdays of, I know this to be true, and yet I'm behaving like there's aha. And so what I'm behaving like it's not true. And I think, with all due respect to us, it's kind of sometimes that's the human way. What's great about this information, what's great about this knowingness, is that even when your body starts quivering in a negative direction, when your thoughts are going in a negative direction, you've got this foundation of knowledge that you can shift back to using beloved community like New Thought Tuesdays or
Yeah.
our partnership, Rich, is just fabulous. This is what we talk about in the inner circle. And we're about to go into the inner
Yeah.
circle. If you'd like to join the inner circle, you can go to newthoughttuesdays.com and click on I want to be reminded, and we will send you a gentle email to let you know what the topic is for the next week and to show up on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. in the Pacific, 1 p.m. on the East Coast, and 6 p.m. in London if you happen to be there, or in India, as wherever you are around the world, we're there for you. So
Great. And I also want to add that if you're on right now watching us on Zoom, stay with us because we're going to stop the cameras. We stop the broadcast. Everything that goes on in the inner circle is private. What goes on in the inner circle stays in the inner circle. So we have no recordings of anything. We open
nope.
up, we talk about some of the situations we're in, talk about spiritual principles that we can use to break through them. So if you're on, just stay here. I'm going to shut all my cameras off and we're going to open up for a little discussion on New Thought Tuesdays Inner Circle. So we'll see you then. We
All
done?
right. We are
Okay.
done. Go ahead.